My brother W4KWM just took over his time slot for the Hurricane WatchNet.
Are there any relays?
He's approximately 38, 39 miles or so by air from me.
Are there any emergency operation centers or storm shelters for traffic for the net?
Good audio. He's using communications quality audio to be able to cut through. I do not have a preamp on, and I'm running 12 dB of attenuation. I'll go to full preamp.
Are there any relays?
See, I've got an S9 noise level.
Are there any emergency operation centers or storm shelters with traffic for the net?
So you see, I'm going to turn the preamp off, go back to 12 dB of attenuation. I've got the RF gain on the TS-890S rolled back to where the S meter is at S5. There's with it maximum gain. I can get away with 18 dB really. I want to drive that S meter down to near zero. See, there you go, that's better. And now I'll bring that RF gain knob counterclockwise a little bit. We'll try S5 again. I always say that S5
power, portable, local stations, or marine stations that has traffic for the net.
I always say that the RF gain is, think of it as like a RF squelch. I'm saying I don't want to hear anything weaker than an S5. And really what I'm doing is knocking down the noise a little bit. Here's without noise reduction.
Are there any relays? Your call sign, please.
Kenwood's digital noise reduction is not the best. But every radio has some weakness, you know. This thing is magnificent, this Kenwood TS-890S. It's magnificent to play with. The ergonomics are just incredible. The location of the knobs, the things that are available to you via knobs.
Papa November, you have traffic.
I like how it mimics a vintage meter.
At a station Foxtrot, Papa November, do you have traffic for the weather net?
Probably nobody ever envisioned in the old days a meter like that with a waterfall under it.
Ain't nothing heard, moving on. Are there any stations in the affected area with outgoing health and welfare traffic? Your call sign, please.
This Hurricane Melissa is a beast. Category 5 right now with gusts of 213 miles per hour. Sustained winds, I believe, are 173.
Going back to the top, this is a Whiskey 4 Kilo Whiskey Mike for the Hurricane WatchNet. Are there any stations in the affected area of Hurricane Melissa who are willing to share your weather data, measured or estimated, as well as any damage reports that we can follow forward to the National Hurricane Center?
And if you're wondering what he's running, Yaesu FTDX 5000 MP into an Elecraft KPA 500. He also has the matching KAT 500 antenna matching unit or antenna tuner. And then the antenna is a ZS6BKW. He has a pair that are...
Is there any emergency or priority traffic for the desk? Your call sign, please.
They are installed perpendicular to one another, so he can use an antenna switch and determine which one has the best gain lobe to the station he's trying to hear. That's a cool thing you can do when you have two identical antennas. Mount them perpendicular. Try to separate them as much as you can.
Are there any relays?
So the nulls of one are filled in by the gain lobes of another, and vice versa.
Are there any emergency operations centers or storm shelters with traffic for the net? Your call sign.
You'll have gain lobes in certain directions with one antenna. With the other one being perpendicular, its gain lobes will be in the places where the first antenna has nulls. So you get a nice 360-degree pattern. Well, I just thought I would grab the camera real quick. I didn't even...
Low power, portable or mobile stations in the affected area. Maritime as well. Your call sign, please.
I didn't get it attached to the stand, so I'm having to hold it by hand, but just wanted you guys to hear that real quick and get a few tips, I hope, that you picked up out of that. And here my brother out there calling the Hurricane Watch Net for Hurricane Melissa.
Are there any relays for low power, portable or mobile stations? All stations this frequency. This is Whiskey 4 Kilo Whiskey Mike for the Hurricane Watch Net. Turning it back over to a Kilo 2 John Baker X-ray.
That's Greg Hernandez, KP4PK. Net control for the Hurricane Watch Net right now. He is one of the S9 VIP supporters of my work so that I can bring you these videos. We had a VIP Zoom meeting a while back, and the presentation for that meeting was about the Hurricane Watch Net. K5WAN, my friend Wendell, did the presentation, and a couple of the folks who were on that Zoom meeting expressed interest in joining the Hurricane Watch Net. So you're listening to one now, Greg, and his friend joined as well. The Hurricane Watch Net was needing some people who lived down in the Caribbean and could speak Spanish to be able to help out with these nets. So this is great. Thank you to you guys who joined up and are able to help out in that capacity.
Please, over.
WX4 NHC Hurricane Center.
WX4 NHC 5x9, sir.
Thank you. The Kingston station that was just on, can we have his call sign and we'd like to speak with him?
Yes, sir. That is 6 Yankee 5 Alpha Golf. Again, 6 Yankee 5 Alpha Golf. Go ahead.
6 Yankee 5 Alpha Golf. This is WX4 NHC Hurricane Center, Miami. How copy? Fantastic. Do you have any communications to the west coast of Jamaica? Over.
That's the operator at the National Hurricane Center in Miami.
Relay any information. It does not have to be necessarily weather data, but we're interested in flooding, storm surge, and any other damages that people witness. We would like any information from the West Coast because we lost all comms from here. Over.
He's very light. He's
Fantastic. Thank you
the other station there. He is in Kingston.
Okay, Gerald. Thank you very much, and we're praying for Jamaica. The 73 WX4
As I filmed this, Hurricane Melissa has hit 180 mile per hour sustained winds and is approaching Jamaica. And I'm so proud 3 of the members of my Patreon team that support my channel and my Patreon content are participants as net control operators. They all 3 were trained by K5WAN earlier this year.
Hearing nothing. Okay,
Greg,
at this time,
Manu,
is there
and
emergency or priority traffic
Jerry.
for this net? Call sign, please. Over.
Jerry was on earlier, but I didn't get to film him. I'm hoping I will.
Hearing nothing. Are there any emergency operations centers?
Getting tired of that grind in the background. Using the Timewave ANC-4. Thanks to AF4OZ. Knocked out the noise. And now I'm going to turn on a beat canceller, I guess, in this TS-890S. I'm going to roll the RF gain back a little bit, further diminish the noise. I'm already running the noise reduction algorithm. See there?
All stations is frequency. This is Kilo Bravo 2 Golf Charlie King WatchNet. If this is a directed net and operates
there's Jerry.
to the affected area of Hurricane Melissa and to collect and forward.
Wow, he sounds great.
To the National Hurricane Center. As a secondary function, this net provides backup communications for official agencies such as the Emergency Operations Centers, non-governmental agencies, the Red Cross, storm shelters, and other vital interests involved in the protection of life and property before, during, and after a hurricane event. Break more.
So cool. Jerry's another S9 VIP.
Is there any emergency or priority traffic for the net? Over.
Who makes these videos possible.
Are there any relays? Over. This is Kilo Bravo 2 Golf Charlie Golf with a Hurricane WatchNet. Are there any emergency operations centers or storm shelters with traffic for the net? Over.
Yeah, I'm going to turn on preamp, turn off attenuation. Let's see what
Are there any relays? Over.
Jerry's actual signal is.
Are there any stations in the affected area with outgoing health
Wow.
and welfare traffic? Over.
15 over. But let's get rid of the noise.
Are there any relays? Over.
No preamp, 6 dB of attenuation, and engaging the Timewave ANC-4.
Saturnets who have not reported in. Over. Are there any relays? Over.
So proud of these guys. We had a S9 Zoom meeting, my VIPs. We have periodically we have a Zoom meeting. We talk about different subjects.
In the affected area of Hurricane Melissa, should you find yourself in the eye of the storm, please resist the urge to venture outside. There may be down power lines and they should be considered live. Furthermore, you do not know when the backside of the eye will come. The winds will not slowly increase in speed, but rather go from 0 to full speed nearly instantaneously. It is not worth getting hurt or worse. Please wait until the storm has passed before venturing outside. And again, please consider any down power lines as being alive. Break.
So at our last meeting, the subject was the Hurricane WatchNet. And Wendell K5WAN made a presentation.
This is Kilowatt Bravo 2.
So Jerry and Greg
with a Hurricane WatchNet.
decided to join up. And Wendell handled their training. And then Greg had a friend named Manu who also joined up.
As a secondary function, this net provides backup communications for the official agencies such as the Emergency Operations Centers, non-governmental agencies, the Red Cross, storm shelters, and other vital interests involved in the protection of life and property before, during, and after a hurricane event. Break more. Is there any emergency or priority traffic for the net? Over.
Jerry, sounds great. I appreciate these guys getting involved and helping out. And in the case of Greg and Manu, they're down in the Caribbean, and they speak Spanish. That was another
Kilowatt Bravo,
benefit.
Golf, Charlie Golf for the Hurricane Watch Net. Are there any emergency operation centers or storm shelters with traffic for the net? Over.
And Jerry is far enough away from the Caribbean that on 20 meters, his signal is going to be very, very good for the Caribbean
Low power, portable,
here on 20 meters.
in the affected area. Over.
Just so proud of these
Are
guys.
there any relays? Over.
Esta es la estación Kilo Papa 4 Papa Kilo para el Hurricane Watch Net cubriendo el capítulo oscuro.
There's Greg again.
Algún centro de
These guys work round the clock,
refugio con tráfico.
tag teaming.
Por favor.
They'll be on and then off for a bit and back on. So they all take turns.
Are there any emergency operations centers or storm shelters with traffic for the net? Both lines, please. Over.
And Greg sounds great. Again, don't go by the S meter because I'm not running a preamp. I'm using 6 dB of attenuation. Plus I have that Timewave ANC-4 engaged to improve the signal to noise ratio, and that's going to drive the S meter lower.
Are there any relays for the net? Your call sign, please.
See, I just turned it off. That grinding noise comes back in. I've taken care of some of it with RF gain. I'm rotating the RF gain counterclockwise.
¿Alguna estación de baja potencia, portátil o móvil en el área fechada? Indicativo, por favor. Over.
It's just much better.
Any relays for the net? Call sign, please.
I have the opportunity to show you a little trick that is possible using the Timewave ANC-4 here. I'm going to turn it off. Of course, we get the grind back. But we almost lose him. And the noise blankers help a little, but not great. These modern rigs, the noise blankers that are based in DSP just aren't always very effective. I'm going to turn the Timewave on. And notice we can hear him better. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. I've got the noise gain antenna, which is actually my off-center fed dipole. So yeah, this video is a little bit about the Hurricane Watch Net and also about the Timewave ANC-4 and the Kenwood TS-890S. Those people who only watch videos based on their title, they miss out on so much. So the noise gain antenna, which is auxiliary in some units, like the QRM eliminator calls it the auxiliary antenna. In this case, I'm using my Fritzl FD4 off-center fed dipole. It's up at about 50 feet, 52 maybe. Inverted V, about 150 degree angle at the apex, which is what Kurt Fritzl, the manufacturer, recommended. See, when I turn it down, he drops. And that right there, I'm listening on my ZSX BKW. So I have a null, a bit of a null in that direction. Plus, I'm hearing the noise again. The grind, power line. So I've got a lobe to that station with the off-center fed dipole. Now I'm rotating the noise phase knob, which is optimizing for the noise level. You saw the S meter go down. That was Alpha Juliet 4 United X-ray. He turned it back over to Wendell, K5WAN. I believe that's what he said. And Wendell's my friend, and he's one of the big deals with the Hurricane WatchNet. He's been training the new folks that I mentioned. But we probably won't be able to hear Wendell because Wendell, as far as 20 meters goes, is close to me. I would be able to hear him if I was on 40 meters, if he was transmitting on the alternate frequency, 7.268. But 14325.
Yankee Oscar for Hurricane WatchNet. I have net.
Okay, so now they've passed it over to K1YO.
This is Q1 Yankee Oscar for the Hurricane WatchNet. An important announcement for those in the affected area.
Also a very strong station.
Should you find yourself in the eye of the storm, please resist the urge to venture outside.
I wonder if any of you have noticed
Furthermore, you do not know when
the transmit audio quality of these stations. They know that they're operating in emergency conditions. They don't want to try to sound like a broadcaster. They have, some would say, penetrative audio. Really, it's communications quality audio. It helps punch through noise, pileups. And you might say, well, we do that when we're chasing DX. Well, yeah, exactly. You want to concentrate your watts per hertz, and I'm talking about watts per hertz in the audio spectrum, and I've got a video about that called Power Spectral Density ? Look that one up, Power Spectral Density. It'll be in, I think, the Learning Ham Radio playlist on YouTube, and probably in the technical collection on Patreon, I believe it is. Power spectral density. But in simple language, concentrating your watts per hertz. This is what you get with communications quality transmit audio like that. Again, not trying to sound like a broadcaster. I'm going to press the AB button over here and switch over to the second VFO. See if we have any action on the 40 meter frequency for the Hurricane WatchNet. If Wendell was transmitting here, I would be able to hear him. He's just not far enough away for 20 meters to cover. And let me give you a little insight on that. One of the reasons that they need net control operators who are not in the southeast, for example, the head of the HWN is in Mississippi. They have people out in Texas. They have them extreme north. Indiana, heard one in there last night from Indiana. The reason they have these stations that are further away is so that they have coverage on 20 meters into the Caribbean. So don't think that just because you don't live in the southeast that you can't participate in the Hurricane WatchNet. No. They can use your help from further away because it works out better when for the 20 meter net. Somebody tuning up. People come on the Hurricane Watch Net and tune up, and believe it or not, and I've shown this in some videos in the past, in my inclement weather playlist. People get in there and maliciously interfere.
Not need weather data from your local airport.
So I want to show you something. The strong station is back in there doing net control. But you hear the grind. When he comes back in, look at his signal. I want to show you something. Now, earlier we had a weaker station in there. And you saw that he came in better when I used the Timewave ANC-4, where I tapped into my noise gain antenna, which is really just an off-center fed dipole. That's what I'm using. Okay, so I turn that on and the noise goes away. Now listen to him.
At this time, are there any stations in the affected area of Hurricane Melissa who are willing to share your weather data?
There he is without any help from the Timewave ANC-4.
So we can forward to the National Hurricane Center. Please call now with your call sign. Over.
Just tweaking the phase knob there for a little bit more noise reduction, noise canceling.
Nothing heard, any relays? Over.
So you see, it's all about signal to noise ratio. I just wanted you to see that. This wasn't intended to be a Timewave ANC-4 video.
Doing nothing. Are there any emergency?
And I do appreciate Daniel
for storm shelters with traffic
AF4OZ for donating that so I could show you this. I've got other videos about it, but they're still in the edit queue. But you're getting a preview of it in action here because, like I said, sometimes when I'm filming a video about one thing, something happens and out of necessity, I show you something else. And in this case, the noise canceller is not only knocking out the noise, but I'm also getting a little bit better signal on him by doubling the, I'm using the main antenna noise phase in combination with the noise antenna. And the noise antenna is all the way up, the gain. Okay, just thought I'd throw that in there.
Your S5 here in Miami. Is the Alpha Golf, is he back on the air? Okay, if he gets back on, he said he would get back on every half hour or so. Please let us know. We have questions for him. WX4NHC.
I want to point out one other thing. You hear that background noise? That's a net that's taking place 3 kilohertz up. And I realize they probably meet on that frequency every day. But it would be nice and courteous and within the spirit of ham radio and how ham radio began and was used many times over the years, too many to count, for emergency communications. You hear that splatter? That's splatter, because they're 3 kilohertz away. If you're going to hold a net 3 kilohertz away from an emergency operation frequency, have the courtesy to set your transmitter properly so you're not splattering. But even better, maybe move your net up a kilohertz or two. Because a net is not as, just a rag chew net is not more important than safety communications. And there was a guy that came in a few minutes ago and was saying, no one's listening to you. Well, that's not true. And in fact, shortly after he was out of there, in fact, he was probably taking up time, because as soon as he quit transmitting, the operator at the National Hurricane Center in Miami came in asking for an update from a station in Kingston that they had been communicating with earlier. So, no, people are listening. This is the spirit of ham radio. Emergency communications should supersede rag chews. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now. So thanks for watching this video. Thought I'd do a little something different here. And of course, you know, throughout the video, I've let you hear different operators and learn a few tips and tricks here with the TS-890S, the ANC-4. So again, those who have watched the video up to here, hopefully you learned some things, and you learned the importance of watching a video not based upon its title, because as things happen when I'm filming, I tell people this all the time, things happen when I'm filming, I'm going to address them then, and you'll pick up another tip or two in a video that is maybe a subject that you didn't expect to pick that tip up on, okay? So thanks again for watching videos on my channel. I want to thank the members of the Patreon team who support this work. I call them long haulers because these are the members who join at the S9 VIP level and support the channel on an annual basis for multiple years. Without them, this endeavor would have shut down long ago. So they are responsible for this video and literally hundreds and hundreds of others. So please stand by for about 42 seconds so I can acknowledge, and that is honor, 5 of those members, those long haulers. Thanks again in 73 from N4HNH.